The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
The importance of engineering on Triad today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the beautiful Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. We'll tell you more about the garden later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up and we'll get into all sorts of controversial topics with them, so stay tuned. Some great information, important information, some great guests coming your way throughout the half hour, so stay with us. Where we want to start is talking with two very brilliant people. I just love these folks, and I've only met one of them once. Hank Henning, of course, is here, Manager of Local Government and Community Relations for Duke Energy, and Hank's special guest is Tamara Ziegler. She's Senior Director of Corporate and Foundation Engagement at North Carolina A&T State University. I'm excited to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for having me.
And we have certainly, by way of Spelman and UNCG and A&T, that's great. Anyway, the reason I'm so enthusiastic about this, because we've never really covered this too much, and that is, Hank, let me talk to you about this home program you emailed me about. There's some grant money involved, and there's a partnership with A&T. So sort of capsulize that, and then I'll let Tamara carry the ball.
Yeah, so thanks for having us. So as we've talked in other shows, the energy transition we're going to, where we're exploring all sorts of new options like new nuclear, gas, renewables, and so forth. There's a lot of technological and engineering jobs coming down the pike, and we want to maintain a great partnership with one of our premier engineering schools in our backyard. So we've been giving grants in the form of sponsorships over the years. I think we're upwards over $500,000 the past few years, and we awarded them with a $100,000 sponsorship grant this past year to go towards one of their programs within the College of Engineering.
Right. Tamara, now just before we get into the specifics about this home thing I want to ask you about, in general, tell me about the success of the College of Engineering at A&T.
The College of Engineering at North Carolina A&T continues to award the most undergraduate degrees to African American undergraduate students, and has for some years. We go back and forth sometimes, Jim, with Georgia Tech, but we maintain that number. And so we continue to, by leaps and bounds, see all kinds of accolades in autonomy, in renewable energy, and so we are so thrilled that Duke Energy recognizes the value of the partnership.
Is there, I'm going to ask a stupid question, Tamara, is there a real demand, beyond what Hank said, but is there a real demand for engineers nowadays?
Not only is there a demand for engineers, a recent report by the National Science Foundation let us know that only about 7 to 9% of the workforce is comprised of minorities, women, and persons with disabilities, with only about 3% of that belonging to Black or African Americans.
Right.
And so the demand for engineers as we move forward into this new economy is greater than ever.
Well, very quickly, what's the mission of this HOME program?
HOME stands for Helping Orient Minorities to Engineering, and now in its 20th year. So what we do is invite the top of the incoming freshman class to campus for the summer. 5.5, 6 weeks. They take classes like Calculus 1, get that under their belt, and they really learn what it's going to take to earn this undergraduate, very rigorous undergraduate engineering degree. They work in teams on projects, and then they work with our corporate sponsors such as Duke Energy.
Right.
And we invite the sponsors to campus. We travel to the sponsors. And Duke Energy is such an important partner because Duke Energy has partnered with and invested in the HOME program now for, oh my goodness, upwards of 10 years.
And this is a selfish thing for you guys, Hank, you and Jimmy and all the guys at Duke Energy, because you're helping with folks like Tamara to create a pipeline, right?
Absolutely. On the back end, we're going to reap the benefits of all the quality engineers that are coming out of someone right in our backyard.
Right. And you don't mind him being selfish, do you?
Not at all. Not at all. Not when it comes to our extremely talented.
That's right. Here on Triad Today, we celebrate selfishness, especially when it comes down to helping kids learn and succeed. Up on screen, ncat.edu is a general website for A&T, and I hope you'll check that out for more information. And of course, duke-energy.com is that website. In all seriousness, I want to thank both of you, not just for being here today, but for the work you're doing, the support financially there, for hiring folks, and Tamara, for producing the folks.
Thank you so much for having us,
you.
and
Thank you.
sincere thanks to Duke Energy.
Come back and see us sometime, will you?
We'll do it.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years.
And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round.
So everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
Fly local, fly easy, fly PTI.
Back now on Triad today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with the good folks at Alamance Community College, and we have a first-time visitor to the show, but not to the area. She's been around for a while and does great things for Alamance Community College. Talking about Victoria Rand. She's coordinator of personal enrichment at Alamance Community College. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Since I just gave your title, let me ask you about it. How do you define personal enrichment classes?
So, personal enrichment classes are classes that adults can take for fun. So, it's a chance to explore interests that they have, maybe something they've always wanted to learn. So, everything from pottery to Spanish.
Pottery, just more Spanish pottery.
We could do that.
Yeah. Now, what have been some of the more popular classes that people take?
Wow, we have a lot. Wood turning has been around for over 20 years, and students seem to love that. It always fills up. One of our newest classes has been really popular. We're offering a Homesteading 101, where students are learning everything to be self-sustaining. So raised bed gardens, canning, raising their own poultry.
And these are mainly, are these, when you talk about adults, are these folks that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s? I mean, what's...
All of the above.
All
yeah,
above.
We have a great mixture. We have all ages and all different interests.
Well, now how do you decide which kind of classes to offer in the umbrella of under enrichment? How do you decide?
So I get a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails. I talk to a lot of people. Some classes have been around a long time.
Right.
And some are brand new. So, one example would be we had a nonprofit organization in Alamance County come to us. They were wanting to get their word out better, make people know more about what they did. So we created a social media for nonprofits class.
Okay.
And lots of other nonprofits joined, and it was very successful.
Social, and still doing it. Social media for nonprofits.
When the need arises, when people want it, we can make it happen.
Isn't that neat? Yeah. Now, even though we've had snow and ice and cold weather lately, and still having some cold weather, we're sort of looking ahead, being optimistic to the spring and the summer. That's, then I start thinking about outdoor activities. Anything that classes that you might be offering that would be kind of fun for people to deal with outdoor activities?
Yeah, we have some new classes coming up this spring. We will be offering disc golf, which is taught by Rob Nix, who designed the Wellspring course at Cedar Rock. So he'll be teaching disc golf. Pickleball is coming back around now as soon as it gets a little warmer.
Sure.
So.
Now, what about, I think you sent me an email one day about a summer camp that you're doing. What is that?
We offer summer camps. This will be our third year. They have grown 200% since last year, or since the year before. Some traditional offerings like arts and crafts and that kind of thing, but a lot of career exploration. It gives students a chance to see automotive and welding. Our Small Business Center offered last year, and we'll do again this year, an entrepreneurial mindset camp. So young people can explore what it would be like to be an entrepreneur and own their own business.
So, I tell you, Victoria, that's so different. When I went to camp, summer camp 100 years ago, we'd have a class like learning to tie your shoes, and I was 15. But no, that's pretty neat because you're exposing them to careers and opportunities and things that they might want to key in on later on. I just think that's great. I want to put up some information on screen before I go too long on this. Oh, before I do that, I was going to ask you a personal question, if it's all right. You seem so enthusiastic about all these things you're talking about with the enrichment in classes. What do you get out of it? What's gratifying to you about making these kind of classes available?
But it's fun. It's fun to watch people that get to explore new ideas and new things that they had never done before. I want to take the homesteading class.
So you're going to take your own classes.
I might.
That's right. I think that's neat. All right, up on screen, alamance.cc.edu. Now, I understand if you type in personal enrichment, then on the search bar, that would get you to more information, right?
Yes, sir.
So be sure to type in that. Well, I hope to get you back sometime and maybe even bring somebody that's been through one of the classes and let me know and get their feedback on it too.
That might be fun.
All right. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive. UNCG, find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today, and this is sort of a special episode because we're with our Winston-Salem City Manager, Pat Pate, again, and he brought a special guest, as he did the last time he was here. Last time he brought 2 assistant city managers. This time he brought Keith Huff, Director of Field Operations Department, with a pretty timely topic. Good to see both of you guys.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
Pat, what are Keith's overall responsibilities, and especially when there's a snowstorm?
Well, Keith has a broad set of responsibilities. Generally speaking, during the year, he's responsible for anything that's happening in the roadway, from pothole repairs to working on the making sure that our drainage is working properly. But right now, most people are interested in the snow.
Yeah.
What do we do when we have a snowstorm?
Pretty stressful time. Keith, now how does the city go about preparing for a snowstorm, and how do you coordinate with agencies, or do you? I mean, how does that all happen?
Yes, sir. So coordination for us starts well above or ahead of winter weather conditions, where late summer we're looking at our equipment, we're adding new routes as new subdivisions come online to the city road network. And then once it gets to inclement weather, the wintertime, we're coordinating with emergency management, police, fire, marketing communications to get the word out about our plans and what we're going to do.
And obviously you can't wait to the last minute, which I thought was interesting when you're talking about you're sort of planning ahead, because you may not know exactly what the weather's going to be, but you guys have got plans in place.
Yes, sir. There's a strategy for whatever inclement weather event comes to us, whether it's rain that turns to ice, that turns to snow. We've got a plan to implement for any type of weather condition.
Keith, what kind of technical and or human resources do you employ when you're implementing these plans?
So technical resources, obviously the outreach, the communication, using our marketing team to get the word out, social media, briefings and interviews with the emergency management folks, coordination with WISTA on bus routes. But then the human resources, we need drivers to go out there and actually clear the roads. So
right.
CDL drivers to drive these tandem axle dump trucks and stuff like that. That's what we need because we're running these shifts.
Very quickly, how do you determine which streets to clear first? How do you prioritize
Yes,
that?
sir. So the larger streets first, your arterials first, and then your critical care routes, then drop down to the collectors, then to the residentials.
I want to switch gears just a second from wintertime things to Parks and Rec. I understand you have some interesting programs coming up under the Parks and Recreation banner.
That's probably, yes, we have our Black History Month is coming up in February, so we've got a whole variety of events going on in the city, and we'd encourage folks to go to our website to look at those. A lot of programs for youth and adults, just all through the month.
Right, and I'm thinking about winter weather and stuff. These are great winter activities. I mean, you can get inside and enjoy a lot of these activities. What about, I think, Pat, you emailed me last week about a Walk of Fame and something about nominations, what that's all about.
Yeah, that's a really exciting thing that the city does. We have everybody thinks about the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We have the Winston-Salem Walk of Fame. So those folks that have really made a contribution to the arts and culture in our community, there's a place to recognize folks. There's some criteria for that is folks who have been deceased but that have had a real impact in the community. Nominations for that are due by the end of the month.
Right.
So we're looking for people to let us know those folks that they would like to see enshrined in our Walk of Fame.
How about that? And you're saying that, do they have to come from the arts and entertainment field or what?
Yeah, we're basically looking at folks that have had an impact in the arts and entertainment field.
So, in other words, me and Keith can't be nominated unless we start playing the guitar or something.
I have to check out your singing voice, and then we can see how that works.
Yeah, one thing before we lose time here, there's something you also indicated on an email about a Long Branch Trail extension. What was that?
Yeah, the Long Branch Trail is a part of our, as you talk about getting out of the winter weather, getting prepared for the springtime. A Long Branch Trail is one of those areas we have great greenway systems, and so we're taking some input on expansion of the Long Branch Trail back towards Martin Luther King to match up with a lot of our other trail networks in the city so that you can get prepared for getting out there when the weather turns great.
All right, up on screen you can go to cityofws.org is the general website, and I hope you will do that. And as far as, boy, I tell you, Keith, how much would you pay me not to give your home phone to people whose streets need to be clear?
Quite a bit under these circumstances.
Well, thanks for coming. No, seriously, I appreciate the work all of you are doing. And Keith, it's really good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Pat. We'll be right back after this.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on Triad today, and we talk about every week ways that we can help other folks or help the community. And I have two guests who are involved very much in helping people and doing things and activities that have a rippling effect to help the area. And what we're getting at is making donations to Goodwill. Let's talk about it with our good friend, Dana Conti, who's Director of Donor Services for Goodwill Industries in Northwest North Carolina, and our special first-time visitor guest that Dana brought along with him, John Stoffels, Vice President of Retail for Goodwill. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks.
John, let me start with you. This is a time of year where a lot of people start thinking about decluttering, getting rid of things.
Sure.
And people know that, hey, I know about taking clothing to Goodwill, and we do that. But now, can you tell me some things that people can donate, maybe they don't think about donating, other than just taking a sweater or a pair of pants?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that we get that people aren't sure they can donate is household electronics. So if you think about cell phones, think about DVD players, big TVs on your wall, we could take all of that. We take everything, and we wipe every piece of product. So if you're bringing a cell phone, we wipe it. If we can't wipe it or we can't sell it, we recycle it. So if you look
now, let's just let me interrupt you. For the folks at home, I'm very illiterate when it comes to tech stuff.
Sure.
We don't mean just taking a rag and wiping it. You're talking about.
Excuse me.
You're talking about.
Yeah, clearing the data, clearing all personal information. That way it's safe to sell.
Right.
If we can't do that, we recycle it. And little known fact, we've been open and in business for almost 100 years. And in that time, we've recycled over 900 million pounds of just consumer electronics.
Oh, wow.
So if we can't sell it, we recycle it, and that does good for the community.
Even old VCRs and anything like that, as long as they're in working order. That's some working order.
Yeah, the things we don't take, and we can get into that later, but really is around safety.
All right, now what about, let me just digress for a second, John. What about businesses? Can they donate things?
Yeah, they can donate a lot. I'll let my expert talk about that a little bit, Mr. Dana, if you want to chip in there.
What are some things that businesses might donate?
So any overruns, so businesses partner in one of two ways. One way is through just product inventory that they may have, just simple items as computers, as we mentioned, electronics that exist within their operations, as well as just inventory of product that they no longer have a use for, that we can find a home for.
All right, now here's a question I have for you guys, and I'll start with Dana. If you want to jump in, that's fine, John. But we know that and this applies to businesses and residential people. The question is, hey, Dana, I have some large items. I have a huge conference table at our business, or I'm at home and I have this big king bed that we're not using. Can you guys pick up those things, or how's that done?
Well, I'm kind of glad you brought those items up. So for instance, beds, mattresses are things kind of back to the question you asked a minute ago we don't want. their personal households that we just requires some safety standards that didn't be met before we can make it available to the public. So
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up, bed frames, things like that. However, yes, to answer your question directly, it's a simple call. We partner with a company called Resupply. It's a third-party company run by veterans. They do charge a fee, but you can find their number on our website and reach out to them, and they will come in, disassemble, pick it up, and bring it to us.
And it could be things like refrigerators too,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
As long as everything's in a good working order, we want it.
Yeah, John, let's remind folks why making donations isn't just about getting rid of stuff that you don't need right now. It's about the community. Why?
Yeah, so if you think about everything our donors do for us, we've gotten so many tons of goods donated this last year. We were able to serve 33,000 plus individuals in 2024. And when you think about services that we provide, if you think about veteran services, job skill training, you think about justice-involved individuals, we have a program for that. If you think about children that are in high school, they want to go to college, we partner with Crosby Scholars, so we have a program for that.
Great
Think about
program.
People with disabilities. You name it, we have it, focused around career growth and career development.
And all those
That's what
great
we do.
things really that are driven by the funding that's available from people donating items. They can then sell them in your stores and take the proceeds and then keep these programs going. I just think it's great. Up on screen, Goodwill, NWNC.org. It's important to go to that website for many reasons. Chief among them is what Dano's talking about. You can, even if you have large items, you can find out how to get those picked up. Guys, I appreciate what you're doing to make it all happen and to help people around the community. And the starting point is the donations. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Back now on Triad today, just about time for the roundtable, but a quick shout out to the good folks here at Senior Botanical Garden. Please check out the garden and the website. You can hold your events here. You can do just about everything that's legal here. And I don't even know if the roundtable, well, I don't know what we're doing here, but they have us, so we appreciate them having us. Ogie Overman's on my right, but always a political left, the lovely and talented Rosemary Plyman's here with us, and Keith Cranberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. All right, guys. Trump is a convicted felon, but was still elected president. Edward Jones is a convicted sex offender, but he was elected to the Forsyth County Soil and Water Commission. Here's the question. Should state and federal laws be changed to prohibit a felon from ever running for office? Ogie.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I think there should, however, be some avenue for appeal, but basically, if you're a felon, forget it.
Rosemary.
Yeah, I agree. Well, there is an avenue for appeal your conviction, obviously, and
Right.
I think that should be it.
Keith.
I think if you've got through with your case and you've served your time, not only should you be able to allow it to run, but you also should be able to allow to vote. Because felons aren't allowed to vote in many
If you
states.
serve out of time. If you serve out of
your
time. All right. Speaking of Trump, our own Senator Tom Tillis broke with the president and opposed pardoning the Capitol rioters who injured over 140 police officers and killed 3. Good for Tillis. At the same time, Andy Nilsson, I don't know the gentleman, he's a Winston-Salem high school football coach and teacher who supports Trump. He announced he's going to challenge Tillis for re-election next year. Will Trump back Nilsson, this new guy? And if so, can Tillis win his seat? Ogie.
Oh, yeah, Trump will primary him. You know, if you say one negative thing against Trump, he's going to primary you.
So Tillis might have a rough time.
Yeah, he might.
Rosemary.
He might. I think there's still a lot of time. Lots of stuff can happen between now and then.
Keith.
There's so many other bills that he's going to support him on. He's going to be fine.
So it'll equal out. Yeah. A female congressperson has introduced legislation that would allow new moms and dads in Congress to work and vote remote from home for 12 weeks after giving birth. In general, should all moms and dads be able to work remote for 12 weeks after birth? Ogie.
Of course, the Republicans are the ones holding that up. You know that. But yeah, of course they should. Of course they should.
For everybody.
Everybody.
Rosemary, what do you think?
I mean, we have FMLA right now, so that is in there that you can work with. But I think it's good practice. I don't see it happening in Congress. Then.
Right, and you know there was a debate too about how much time somebody should be paid for taking off. You know, the dads especially, if the mom has. So far, dads can't give birth, as far as I know. Keith, what do you think?
There has been some dads that give birth.
Well, never mind about that.
But I do think that they should have time off, and I think it should be time off with pay.
All right. Following a deadly fireworks blast that killed 4 people and injured 20 others, the governor of Hawaii is proposing stiff fines and long prison terms for anyone whose use of fireworks results in injury or death to another person. Should North Carolina adopt the same law? Because we have a problem with this stuff. Ogie.
We do have a problem. I don't think, I mean, how stiff are you talking about, really? I don't think it should be prison time unless
That's what
somebody
they're, yeah.
dies.
If somebody dies or is seriously injured, though, it's the same as any other act that would cause somebody's death or to be hurt.
What do you think, Keith? Should we adopt the Hawaii thing?
The problem is that you have so many young people who do these things, and they're the ones who usually end up hurting people, but there should be some punishment for that. Yeah.
Spirit Airlines just announced a new policy in which passengers will not be allowed to board the plane if they are barefoot, quote, inadequately clothed, showing too much skin, display body art that is offensive. Are you okay with this new policy? And if so, would you like to see all airlines adopt it? Ogie.
Well,
I mean, I know you'd like to see a lot of skin.
I would I would love to see people dress up to go fly like they used to. You've seen these black and white getting on the DC-3. Everybody's got a coat and tie and a hat on.
So you're okay
love
with this?
that.
You're okay with it?
Well, body art, you can't.
Yeah.
Rosemary, what do you think?
I mean, shoes, yes, you have to have shoes on to fly yes, shoes always. Everything else, I think, largely is discriminates against women and people of larger size. And so I think I think no.
So it's discriminatory.
I think so.
Keith, what do you think about the new guidelines for getting on planes?
I don't think nobody should be flying Spirit. That's that's about shoes on and shoes off.
There might be a story there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
It's absolutely
finally
scary. I don't understand.
Finally, some zoos are hosting a Valentine's Day fundraiser where you can name a rat after one of your ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, or ex-spouses. Guys and gals, which of your exes would you name a rat for? And please, first names only. Ogie, first name of a rat.
I must be doing something right because I'm going through, and I don't have any resentments against any of my exes or them against me, I don't think.
Okay.
Very sweet.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with another edition of the
Liars
Club. Rosemary, name a rat.
I actually couldn't think of an ex, but I could think of some mean girls from like middle school.
Give me one name.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. All right, Keith, an ex-spouse, ex-girlfriend that you would name a rat after?
I got a lot of rats. I don't know. I can't just name one rat because there's a lot of rats.
You can't give me a first name of anybody.
Sally.
Sally.
Yeah, she was a rat.
All right, Sally. If you're watching, Sally. Yeah.
And she's watching.
My rat's name is Rosemary. No. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this, and this is a true story. Scientists in London have been studying baboons for months now, and they've come to the conclusion, this is true, they've come to the conclusion that baboons are incapable of self-reflection. They are, however, capable of running for president. That's true. I don't know why they came to that conclusion. All right, for all of us here on Triad Today, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.